So I have this crawl space access, and my wife wants me to either build a door or buy a door for it. I've measured it, and it's about 2 feet by 3 feet. Here's my sketch diagram. So I'm gonna try to build a door for it, and we'll see how it goes. Here's an outside view of how it looks, and someone can really fall in there right now. And I bought some lumber from Lowe's, and I got some other supplies. Got some hinges, some nails, and basically a lot of wood, and we'll see how it goes. And I got my saw, and I've started measuring all the dimensions so I can cut it. So I measured out a foot on each side of the wood, and I've marked it on the left and on the right, and I've done it all the way through the board. That way I know where each foot is, and then I can just draw a straight line from one end to the other, and I can make 2 feet section, another 2 feet section, and then that's what I'll be needing for the outlines of the door. So I've cut my pieces, and this is what the outline will look like. I'm going to liquid nails that first piece to the bottom, and then this will serve as the door right here. And I cut this one a little short so that when the door opens towards the wall, there is room for it to open. I'm going to put the hinge over there. So this is the outline of the door, and that piece on the other side is also a little short, again for the hinge. So now I'm going to start cutting more wood, make the door before I liquid nails anything, before I put screws. Just kind of measure everything out before I start making things permanent. So I've cut all the wood, and I've kind of just put it in place to see what it would look like. And here's what it looks like. So now I'm gonna start putting some screws in there, and after I get my door, I'm gonna liquid nails the bottom portion of it, and show you the final product next, hopefully. So now I just did liquid nails. I did the other two boards, and I'm gonna put the outline right down right now. I'll attach the door latch, and then I've put the outside frame with liquid nails, and then I've put the my almost finished door. I've nailed it to the outside first, and then once I've put the liquid nails, I've put it on top. I've adjusted the frame as I need it, and now we just wait for the liquid nails to set, which is going to take about 20 minutes or so, or that's the working time, and they set in about 24 hours. So this is almost done, and then I think I'm gonna need a bigger opening against the wall, but I'm gonna have to come back in 24 hours, and after that I'll attach the latches, and hopefully that'll be it. So we'll come back soon. So what I'm doing now is I'm installing the hinges. So what I did is I drilled the holes and the screws and the hinges, and I attached them to the door. Now I'm trying to mark the spot on the outside piece of wood, on this piece of wood, where I need to drill and screw. So what I am going to do is use double-sided tape that I got at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's extreme mounting tape. I have applied it to the outside of the hinge, on the side that touches this part of the wood, so that when I pick up the door, hopefully that part of the wood stays attached, and then I can just drill the screws where that piece of tape is holding, and I know that'll be the exact spot where I need to drill the screws, so stay tuned. And the double-sided tape worked, so now I know where I need to drill my screws, because the double tape, I don't know if you can see that, the double tape was holding that piece of wood, so it's the exact spot where I need to drill. So that's it. So I got my door and I got my hinges. The next thing I'm doing is this lock. So the way that lock's gonna work is this thing is just gonna lock in when the door is closed. It's gonna be like this, boom, locked, and then I just turn this thing, and then I can, like like that, and then the door is not gonna open. So in order to measure where I need to drill the holes, I'm just using double-sided tape. I already put this piece with double-sided tape in there. Now I'm gonna put this piece up with double-sided tape. I'm gonna put it in on the door, kind of figure out where I want it, then mark the spots, and then drill the holes after that. So this way I know exactly where I need to drill, and I don't drill holes multiple times. That's it. So that's it. Here's the final product. So here's some final notes. So for each of these screws that I put in there, I was pre-drilling every single hole. I was using the 1/8 drill bit, and the reason for doing that is because if I didn't pre-drill each hole, the wood would start to crack. So that's why I freed up some space and I pre-drilled every hole. I mean, it took a little bit, but that's what I had to do. My lock is on there and it's working, so I can turn it and it opens and I can pick it up, or I can lock it and boom, it's good to go. Outside of that, I used more liquid nails for this final piece right here, and when I was assembling the door, I left space at the end for this little piece right here because that's where the hinges went, so that was very important. When I opened the door, I also put a cross section, and again I pre-drilled and then put some more screws in there, and this is so if somebody stands on top, they're not gonna fall through. And this door is done. I think overall probably took me like 7 hours altogether with planning and measuring and going to the store. I mean, in the store I probably spent like an hour and a half. So I used the boards that I used were 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches by 8 feet, and I cut them to size, and those turned out to do very well. And the screws that I used were 2.5 inches long, so that way when it's two boards, the combined the length would be 3 inches and the screws are 2.5, so that turned out to be very well. And the whole project cost me probably 60 bucks, and I think for a custom door like this, I don't know, somebody would have charged me like 200 to 300, maybe more. But anyway, it works and it's finished, so there you go.